Hey everyone, Megan Rothstock, and I'm going to do a little training for you guys on Canva. I'm going to go over mainly the basics and the differences between using the free version and the pro paid version. So mostly basics and then some specific things that people really asked for. So we'll go ahead and get started. I'm going to touch on things you can do with the free version first, and then I'm going to log into my paid account and you'll kind of see the differences of what you can do with the paid account. Okay, so I am here on the main page of Canva. You do have to create an account with just your email address, and this is the free version. Um, I am going to go ahead and start in, actually, let's go back. Okay, this is your main page here. If you want to create something from scratch, you just have to kind of decide what size you want to make it. So where I'm holding my mouse here is the Facebook post, or you can do an Instagram story, which is vertical. There are a lot of different options. This is creating something from scratch. So I'll go ahead and click Facebook post. And then from here, you can add whatever pictures and graphic and whatever you want, or you can use a template that they have over to the left. So a template that I chose already before was just one about a sale. So pretend that you're already in your design here and you can make changes. So I'm going to show you guys just some of the basic navigation items of Canva, starting from the very beginning if you're brand new. So if you're in Canva, whether you're starting from scratch or a template, or maybe someone shared a template with you and you opened that up, if you're in here at this main page, I'm going to show you what you can do. So over here to the left, you have your template options. Okay, you can click these and it'll add a whole template to your design. The next button here is Elements, and Elements has a lot of different things. You can search up here if you want a picture of coffee. You just type it in and press enter, and then you have options whether you want a clip art type of graphic. You can click there and it's all clip art type items. If it has this little crown that says Pro, that means it's only available in the Pro version. But if it doesn't have that little crown, then you can just click it and it adds it right to your design. The little circle bubbles here, change the size, move it around in the middle, and that moves it around. The little lines here crop the photo, so it cuts it, okay? Let's see, if you wanted a photo of coffee, you would click photos right there, and then you're getting real photographs, not just like a clip art type of a thing. So you can get a real photograph and click that and add it to your design. You can make it smaller, larger, or you can crop it or cut it, okay? So that is that. And let's see here. If you have, that's elements. Okay, I'm going to go to the next one. It's uploads. So uploads are things that you take from your computer or the Norwex website, wherever, and you bring them into your Canva. Now, I will say that Canva is a lot better and a lot easier on the computer as opposed to on your phone. It's okay on your phone, but it's really a lot better on the computer. And depending on what type of computer you have, Chrome is way better than Safari. And I've just learned that over the years. So Chrome is better than Safari. Okay, so here I have photos that I've already put into my Canva account, and they will just always be here unless I choose to delete them. I can add new ones at any time from the Norwex website, and then I can use them. So let me show you what I can do here. Okay, so these are the photos that are already here. I'm going to show you guys how to bring new photos in. So I have, let's see here. Let me pull up the resource. And if I go to images, say that I want to add this one with the bright start, okay? First of all, there's JPEG and there's PNG. PNG is higher quality, so that's what I would recommend. So you click that, and then depending on your computer situation, it'll download it. Mine goes down here in the bottom left. I am going to go back to my Canva design, and I'm going to click this purple button, Upload Files, and then I'm going to find it in my Download section, and you can either double click it or you can click it and click Open, and that will upload it into my photo album of my Canva. And then I can use it in my designs. Okay, let me see. That is how to import photos. You can organize your photos, but I honestly don't. So I'm not going to go over that because that's not really my expertise. So let me just move on to the next thing here. Someone wanted to know how to, oh wait, actually, let me see what that is. Okay. I'm going to continue here on the left-hand side. So next you can click text. And then these are all different sizes, or there's just some fancy ones down here. I'm going to go ahead and go to a page that has more space. To get a new page, you go right here. It's a little square with a plus sign, and it says Add Page. You just click that, and it gives you a fresh page with the same background color that the previous page had, okay? And I'm just going to click Add a Heading. And it just puts it right here, just super generic. And you can title it whatever you would like to title it. And then up here, you can change the font. So if it has that little crown symbol, that just means it's for the pro version. But there are a lot of fonts that are available in the basic, okay? And you'll kind of find which fonts you like and what makes sense. And yeah, so you can just kind of play around with that. You can make it larger or smaller. You can change the color of the text. It will actually give you suggestions based on your photos. So it knows what colors are in these pictures in your design, and it'll give you some different ideas. You can also, if you don't like any of the little squares that you see here, this little rainbow button, you click that, and then you can slide here at the bottom, and then you can slide within right here. So you can literally pick any color you want, okay? So that is that. You can underline it, maybe. You can make it all caps or back to lowercase, the different formatting here, different alignment, centered versus, left aligned, that sort of thing. Let's see here. You can duplicate whatever you have, and you can move it around. You make it bigger, smaller, just all those basic things. And if you really like a certain page and you want to duplicate the page, that is this little button here. So it just says duplicate page. You click that and you get a second page of the exact same thing. And then you can kind of edit it or make changes. Sometimes I do that if I'm like, I think I'm going to change stuff, but I might like it the way it is. I keep one version and then I make a second version and kind of work with it that way. Let's see here. If you don't want this slide all together, you just click the trash can and it takes it away. And let me see what else here. Okay, there is another thing that's really helpful for moving things around is group and ungroup. So say that I have my business card here, and then I want to add these countercloths to it. I can set it here. Okay, so say that you have a couple things that you want to be all together and you want to move them around all together. That's when you're going to use the group option. So say I want to add like the countercloths, I want to add my little QR code, and maybe I want to add this little picture here. Okay, now if I want to move this whole thing around, right now the different elements, I guess you would say, are individual. So you would click and drag each individual thing. But if you want them to always like stick together when you're moving things around, you're going to group them. Okay, so I'm going to click my mouse here, and I'm going to select all those items. You can see that all the little elements are selected. And then up here on the right-hand side, there's the button that says group. You're going to click that. And now they are together as one. Okay. So now if I want to move it around, they all move together. I think that should make sense for everyone. Another thing is if they all move together, say that someone shares a template with you and you're like, I can't move the different things that I'm trying to move. They might be grouped together and you need to ungroup them. So I click on the whole thing. And if you have the option to ungroup, that means they're grouped. So you click ungroup, and then it's like, oh, okay, now I can move the individual items again, or I can delete them, and you have more freedom and flexibility. So that is really helpful for getting the spacing right on things, or even if you're like want to change the size of the whole thing, they're all grouped together, so they'll stay together. Okay, so that is super helpful. Another kind of basic thing is position. So say that I have this thing here and it's behind my business card and I actually want it in the front of my business card. I click on the item I want to change, and I'll click position, and then I want to bring it forward. So I'll just click forward. If I want to move it backward, I click backward. If there are a lot of different elements, you can move them in different order, whatever makes sense for you. Okay, so that is that. And then I just want to explain this little landscape photo. These are really wonderful to kind of plug and play different pictures. So how I got it is under elements, and it's in my recently used, but you're going to scroll down to frames, and you can click see all and see all the different frames that you have. And there are some ones with cute borders. There's kind of the sketch looking one. Maybe you like the triangle, or you can even do, there are letters if you want to make like a cute thing that says your name or says Norwex. Well, let's see. Then you go to uploads and you take that, whatever picture you want to put in there, you click and hold it down, holding it down, and then drop it right there in the elements landscape page. Okay, so I'm going to do that again. So I'm going to go to elements, and I'm going to click on just the circle one because it's super basic. And then I'm going to go to uploads, and I'm going to take my mop photo. I'm going to drag it over all the way to the edge of the circle is where you kind of put it. Okay. And then if you're like, oh, it's kind of cutting my head off or it's cutting my feet off and you want to move it around within that, you double click it. Oops. Double click it. And then you can shift it up and down and around depending on the photo, or you can make it larger within that circle, and then you click done right there, and that changes. Okay, continuing on. These are just some basic things so far. Let me see what else we want to do. So one thing is to add your face. So that's going to be uploading a file that is a picture of your face and then simply adding that to the design. If you want to shrink your view of this page, you go down here to the bottom and this little black dot here, you can just drag it and make it smaller. Sometimes that's easier to navigate depending on how many pages you have. And you can move things from page to page. So if I wanted to move this up here, I could. If I want to keep scrolling and move it up here, I could. Just kind of drag and drop things all around. Let's see here. Let me go to the next one. If you have, okay, this is kind of a twofold type thing. So notice how these are square. These are square graphics. When I save them, they're going to be square. Pretend like you wanted something vertical, like story size. There are a couple options. So resize is available with the Canva Pro, or you can just copy it from this design and paste it onto a new one. So I'm going to show you how to resize without having to do Canva Pro. Okay, so I'm going to go home page, and then I'm going to go to the Instagram story, just creating a blank new one. Okay, and that brings me here, just a blank page. Then I'm going to go back to the one that I want to make this size. And let's just say, we'll just use, it doesn't really matter. So we'll just use this one here. Pretend like there's a couple more elements on it. And we'll just make this here. And it's a cute square size, but we want it to now be a story size. So I'm going to hold my mouse down and I'm going to select everything on the design. Okay. And depending on what type of computer you have, I'm going to do Command C. I think it's Control C for some people. That just means copy. So Command C as in cat. I think you might also, let's see what that gives you. Okay, you can go here and you can click copy. And then you go to your, not that one, your new design. And you, I don't know how to click and get paste, but you can do Command V as in Victor, and that should paste it for you. Okay, so now you have the same elements, but it's on a new size. And then you can kind of rearrange it depending on what makes sense. And you can bring items forward and backward and change everything around. So if you want to take a whole design from square size to story size without the Pro option, you just have to copy paste each selection of elements. And then the only thing it doesn't do is it doesn't carry over your background. So you would just click your background and click what color you want it to be. You know, you have your different color options, whatever color you want it to be. And then that would be good. Okay, so another thing is using a whole photo as your background. Okay, so sorry I'm like jumping around a little bit. I think this will cover a lot of things. If you want a picture as your entire background, there are, I think, 2 different ways to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and take my team page picture here, and I am going to drag it to the edge of the design. Okay, right there. Drag it to the edge. That makes it go on the entire frame. If I want to move it left or right or up or down or resize it, I double click it, just like I did before. You can't make it smaller because then it wouldn't cover the whole background, but you can make it bigger, that sort of thing. Okay. And then you can either click anywhere out here or you can click done. And that does that. So if this were like Okay, so if this were my design here and I had all these elements on it and I wanted to copy and paste it to a new page, it's not going to take the background with it. You have to do that separately. So I'm going to do copy. Whoops. I'm going to do copy here and then go to my new vertical design and I'm going to do paste. And so see how it brought the elements, but it didn't bring the background. You can bring the background over separately. You just have to click just the background and then copy and then paste and it puts it in the background. Okay. Let's see, something else with, these are just kind of things to know that if you're like, things are feeling stuck and you're not sure why. If you have this at the back as the background, and then you're like, I really don't like that it cuts everyone off. I want it to just be a picture on the page, but not be the full background. You can click on it. And I think it's right here. Yeah. So click on it and then click the three dots and you can click detach image from background. And that just makes it a regular picture on your design. You can also do that if you have something in the landscape photo and you change your mind and you want to get it out of there. You click it and then you click the three dots and you say detach image. Okay, then that takes it off of the little landscape thing. Okay, so those are a couple basics there. Let's see. Someone wanted to know about creating a collage of photos. So there are some really wonderful templates up here. So if I click a template over here to the left, it will apply that. And then it looks like, let's see, then you could add whatever photos. You just drag them in and it replaces those. So that's one option, is you can find a template and then drag pictures into it. And then you can change the text and change the font and kind of work from the template. And that's kind of fun because it looks like nice and polished and finished. You can change the colors of things, however you want to change them. But another option you can do is using elements and then using these grids and frames. So let's see, I would do, just as an example, I would do something like this, and then I would do a second one. And you have a lot of different options. One of the questions was about how to get things like evenly spaced. That is going to be a little bit of trial and error, but you can see when something purple pops up, it's kind of giving you guidance on the page. So this means it's in the middle. If it's a solid line, it's like, I think it means in the middle. And if it's a dotted line, it means it's like lined up with something else. Okay. Now, if I want to get those like that far apart, and then I want another one down here, like the same distance, I'm actually just going to highlight them both and then duplicate it. So, oops, highlight them both, duplicate. And then I'm going to drag them together and it will actually pop up and tell you how far apart they are. So 17 and 17, that means that they're at the same distance apart, okay? Then I am gonna select all of these and I'm gonna duplicate them again. And I'm gonna put them like right here, okay? And then I'm gonna go ahead and put some pictures in just kind of however you want. Oops. Drag it all the way over. Okay, so I'm going to finish filling in these photos, and let's see. And you can even, actually, never mind. Okay, so let's put this one here. So then you have a cute collage, and then remember, you can double click on it. There we go. And move it so you can see your whole face or adjust it however you need to. Next, I want these things to stick together and stay spaced how they're spaced. So I'm going to group them. Okay. And then I am going to, let's see what I'm going to do first. I'm going to go ahead and rotate it. So I'm going to use this little button here that's going to twist it. Okay. And that's just like for a fun little design look. And then I'm going to make it bigger so that it covers the whole page. And then you have a cute little collage. So there are a lot of different options within that, but hopefully that kind of gives you a little starting point of how to create a collage. And then you can also, I think you should be able to change the background behind it as well. Yeah. So that is just a little collage option for you, and you can even straighten it out. You'll know, it'll tell you like the degrees of how far you're moving it, so you know whether you're like back to straight if you want it back to straight again. And then I could even, like if I wanted to move that up, I could, let's see where it is. I could like duplicate this whole thing, I think. Yep. And so then you can fill it in even more. And then you have like a whole collage. Okay, another fun thing you can do is, let's see, transparency. So pretend like I want my face as my background, but then I want to like say something over top of it, and I want to be able to read it. So I'm just using my name because that's easy. And we're going to do that there. So I want to kind of lighten this. I'm going to change my background back to white just because that's simple. I'm going to click on my photo here. And then this little box here says transparency. So you click on that, and then you can kind of drag it however transparent you want it to be. And yeah, that's just kind of a fun way to play with things. Okay. So that is that. And you can do that with any photos. Okay. Let's see what else we wanted to know. Even spacing, artwork. Oh yeah. Okay. So if you see, this is just a random helpful tip. If you see artwork you like, and it's just, it seems to be your vibe or your style or whatnot, you can go, let's see. So if we search coffee again, and if you go to photos, and if you're like, gosh, this is just the perfect vibe right here, I want to see more that are kind of similar to this or the same kind of style, you click these dots here, and you can see view more by the person's design name is Content Pixie from Pexels. So you just click on that and you see more design content from that person, if that makes sense. So you can kind of find some fun things that way. Okay, so let me show you. I think that's mostly it for the free version. And then I'm going to log into my paid version and show you a few things that you can do that are kind of like next level and a little bit more fun. Let me also show you another thing you can do with the free version is if someone shares a template with you, they'll give you a link, and you template was created by so-and-so. You click use template, and that puts it in your Canva library. and it basically makes you a copy of it. So now you can change it however you want, and it's not going to mess up like the original creator's design. Okay. So that, yeah, with the free version, you can use a template. And with the free version, you can also create a template. So say that I wanted to share, I don't know where it went, the cute collage. So say that I wanted to share this whole thing with a friend. I have a couple things I can do. So I can click share up here at the top, and it will kind of pop up like your most common items here. But if you click more, it'll give you all of your options. So if you want to share your design with someone to use as their own, but you don't want it to mess up your own, you're going to choose template link. Okay, so you click that, and then you click copy, and then you send it to someone. Or you can save it in your notes page or later. So I use my notes page for a lot of links to designs. Another way you can save it is if you just want to save it as the different page images, you can just click download right here, and suggested is PNG. Now, I don't really do anything with like animated graphics, so I can't really speak to that. But just for non-moving pictures and images, I would use PNG. It's a higher quality than the JPEG. So click PNG, and then you can choose which pages you want, if you want all of them or just one of them, and then you just click download. Depending on your download settings, they might come zipped together as a zip file, and that might be a foreign language to you, but you have to unzip them. So mine come zipped together. They haven't always. It's some sort of setting in there. So then I just click on it, and it's a folder, and you click on it, and then you have your 4 pages, and you can airdrop those to your phone. You can send them in Messenger. They're just like photos now. Okay. So next, let's log into my pro account and show you some other things. Okay, so now I'm logged into my pro account, and I don't always know the differences between the free and the pro, because using the pro, I just get used to it. But from what I can tell, aside from certain photos, certain fonts, there are a few other things that are fun to have in the pro version. So one of those things is the branding kit. So a branding kit means you can save your fonts that you like, your colors that you like, and it basically kind of defaults to those settings and things. That way, like, I have my favorite fonts. So whenever I am working on a project and I go to add text, it adds it in that font that I already love. And my colors are saved in one little section, and it just kind of helps everything be like cohesive. You can also have like a logo that you can click on different things. So that's just one thing, is the branding kit is available in the pro version. And then let's see here. Oops. Let's go back. Okay, so then I click on my design that I'm working with. You can see when you click on the text, you now have everything. So even the ones with the crown next to it, it says, as a pro user, you can use this font. So you can use all the different things. When you're searching like the elements, like a picture of coffee or whatever, you can use any and all of them, even if they're the pro version, if you have the pro account. So it just kind of takes the limits away, and you don't have to watch so carefully like what's free and what's not free. Another thing is you can resize really easily. So you'll notice that this design is square-ish to post like on Facebook. But if you want to recreate it as like story size, instead of copy pasting all these pages, what you would do is you just go up here to this button called Resize. You click that, and then think about what size you want to make it. So I'm going to say Instagram story. You click that, and then you want to keep your current copy and make a new copy in the new size. So I'm going to click copy and resize. And that has taken every single page and resized it to fit the Instagram stories. From there, you can kind of rearrange things and fill out the page however you want. But it's just kind of a quick way to use the same stuff, but in a different size. So that's kind of a nice option to have. Another thing with the Pro version is the background eraser. So this I haven't used super often, but it is pretty fun. So I'm just going to use a blank page as an example. And I'm going to take, oh yeah, I have a lot more pictures in my paid account. Okay, so I'm going to take, let's see here. And find a good one. So some of these already like don't have backgrounds on them. But let me find what a good one would be to show you. Okay, I'll use Megan and Lindsay. Okay, so here they are with their full background. So I am going to double click it, the picture. Oops. Okay, just kidding. I'm going to click it once and I'm going to click edit image up here at the top. And then background remover. So this is just with the paid version. So I'm going to click background remover and it's going to do some magic. And depending on how like complex the photo is, it can take a few seconds. There they are. So now, okay, so there they are with no background and it's so cute. So they could use this so many different ways. They could use this to put on like a training graphic, something's coming up, or you know, whatever. So let's see. It just gives you just some really fun options. You can change the background color. You could type, you know, team call coming up whenever. And it is just a really fun option to have. It's also really helpful. Okay, so you can see there's like a little bit of that bridge in the background. Within the background remover thing, you can go in and get like the little tiny brush to zoom in and remove that. Yeah, so it has options. Another way that it is helpful is, say that you have this and you want it to just be on a solid, you know, light background, but you have this white part and you just want it to just be the product images. You can also use it with that. So click edit image, background remover, and it just does it all by itself. So you'll see in just a second here. And there it is. And now it has erased the background. And you can still resize it and do different things. So that is only with the paid version. And so that's kind of fun. Okay, another thing that I noticed, I'm pretty sure, almost positive, the paid version is where you can create a scrolling website. So you may have experienced a scrolling website before, and this is how you can create one. So say that you had a whole bunch of information on these slides and you wanted to give it to someone as a website they can just scroll through. That is going to be in the way that you save and download your design. So you click up here and you click share, and you have your main options here, but you can click more, and it's right here. So it's just called website, and you click that. And then I haven't done this very often, but it does have different options. So scrolling is what most of us would probably want to use. So you click scrolling, and then I think you just click open website. And now it has all those slides as a scrolling website. So people aren't editing it or anything. They're just scrolling through the information that you've given them. Okay. And then to share that, you give literally just this website here at the top. So you could just copy paste it into your notes page to save for later or send to a friend or whatever you want to do with it. Okay. Let me see if there is anything else. I know that there were some other questions, but I might not have known how to do them. So these are just kind of the basics. These are the things that I know how to do. And I hope that this is helpful. You can see all your designs in here, your projects, and it kind of tells you what size your design is. Oftentimes, I don't create from scratch anymore. I will just use a previous design and kind of edit it, depending on what it is, or I'll use a template like from Canva. Yeah, so that is a whole bunch of information. I hope it was helpful. If there are things that I didn't cover that you would love to know how to do, Canva does have some really great videos, or just look it up on YouTube and there should be a pretty good walkthrough. So that is that. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.